A circuit to turn on an IAC. This IAC is out of a Ford, like a late 90s Ford Mustang or something. I can't remember what it was, maybe it was a truck. But basically, this fitment, this package here, I think will work with my 280Z ET. It's a turbocharged Nissan engine for my 280Z. And what I'm looking for is idle control. So I want to be able to switch the idle on and off using the IAC. There is a vacuum controlled IAC that comes stock, but it doesn't work with the 300ZX ECU that I'm planning on using. It's just incompatible. I won't go into why, but it does. The 300ZX has a switched, I think it's about 160 hertz, switch to ground. So normally you would feed a constant positive to the coil and you switch the ground on and off to ground. That's how you'd activate the thing. Well, that's a 10 ohm coil, and the 300ZX has a 40 ohm coil. So that would pull approximately 4 times the current, which I'm afraid would probably smoke the ECU. So we're not going to even try to drive it directly. That would be a bad idea in my opinion. So my solution was to come up with a switch, an electronic switch that I could take to ground and switch the current on and off at the coil. I used a PMP germanium transistor because I happen to have one handy. There's the specs on it. You can see it's 32 watts, collector current up to 10 amps. It's got a gain of 35. So what I did there was, I know that I pull about 1 amp with this circuit here. So I took 1 amp, divided by 35, came up with about 300 and whatever, 50, whatever. So I needed 350 milliamps to make that work. I think I did that right. Let's try it here real quick. Let's try it real quick. So if we take 1 amp, let's take it 1.1. 1.1. Actually, it's probably closer to 2. Let's do what 2. Because it's not a fully charged system. 12 volts divided by 10 ohms equals 1.2 amps. Okay, 1.2 amps using a gain of 35. So let's take that, divide that by 35. Means I need to have about 340 milliamps to fully turn this thing on if the current is multiplied at a factor of 35. So what I'm looking to see is, can I get about 34 milliamps to flow through the base circuit to turn this thing fully on. I select a resistor that would make that happen. That's a 330 ohm resistor. And what we'll do now is we'll turn it on. We'll see how it all works out. So that should turn on. It's idling at 20 milliamps. I don't know why it does that. There must be some leakage in this transistor. The coil's not closed. But we're going to check this out here. And this is on the 100 milliamp scale, so it's right here, that first black one. Let's turn it on. Okay, you've got 1.1 amp flowing there, and this scale right here, let me see if I can move this. That's about 3.6. You can't make that out, but between that 2 and 4 is 3, and there's 2 divisions after that, so that's like 3, 2, 4. That's 4. That's 340 right there. So I'm flowing 340 milliamps. Well, I am until I unplugged it, to operate the 1 amp. So that tells me everything's going to work well, and this ground switch on the ECU can easily handle the 340 milliamps, as opposed to it typically would see, a quarter of an amp with the 40 ohm coil that wants to see. So we should be good to go to use this switch to control the IAC, the Ford IAC on the 280Z L28ET engine using a 300ZX turbo ECU. I know that's a lot. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.